Hello everyone, SMA Watts here, and we are doing some commentary on the Legacy Tribal Wars Invitational. We have Filbana versus Dion Mag at Table 2 here. We have a Mutavault followed by a snow-covered forest on one side, and a Savannah into what I'm guessing will be Plant Drazi. Looks like we have Centaurs. So let's see. Then again, Filbana could also be a variation of Pod. Very kind of a big Pod player. No, it looks like we're going for plants to make lots of mana. And this is an underdog, so it can't just be walls. Alright. Well, I don't think that Centaur is going to be able to crack through this turn. Though I think I would if I was Filbana. Just take it because odds are he probably has a bigger play next turn if he doesn't lose a creature, and worst case scenario is just taking 3 damage. Yep. Yeah, that has to be the right play. You have to respect the giant growth. Looks like missed a land drop. That's not generally great for the ramp strategy. Wall Blossoms. Probably digging for that land. Or possibly digging for a particular color. Wall of Roots. Into another overgrown barrier. Wow. Oh, and there's that land. Which does make me slightly question why he took the token off of the Wall of Roots, but oh, that Phantom Centaur. It does not have haste, though, in case you don't know. It's a 2/0 protection from black. Goes out 3 counters +1/+1, and anytime it gets hit, you take a counter off. Vine Lasher Kudzu. Yeah, those fetch lands. Yeah, so we're definitely going plants. So I would assume the 5/3 cracks in. Yeah, sacrifice by the Wall of Blossoms. Which is technically, I can see it served its purpose. Alright. Creature that is part of so many tribes. Those Centaur, Druid, Scout, Archers, man. Alright. buffing the kudzu. Looks like Filbana could really use something to do with all this extra mana. But one card in hand. Sadly, he doesn't have the extra red mana to use the Tinderwall to chip away at the Phantom Centaur. He's got to trade his kudzu, or take 5, or throw something away. Nothing else is going to or he could swords it. Had to be a reason for that white mana, right? Oh, those green counter spells. Yeah, as I said, you have to respect the giant growth. At least now he knows he's playing against A-Trick. Do we have another, maybe give it trample? We'll do that. Hunter's Insight. Wait. Doesn't that not... Do you have another thing? And Berserk. Well, that's going to refill his hand. But it is going to cost him... It cost him his base level's mana. And his creature. But we are looking at 9 cards versus 0. So, Filbana's going to need something reasonably good off the top of the deck. I think about the only thing that's really going to work here is if he drew the Avatar of Zendikar. That's a lot of mana getting tapped. Actually, I guess a Genesis Wave would also be kind of awesome. Green Sun Zenith. That'll do it. I imagine finding the Avenger. Oh, prime time. Which is a nice combination with the Vine Lasher Kudzu. Ooh, and the Maze of Ith. Well, now he's staring down 2 6/6s, but with a full grip. I had a feeling that guy was going to come out. Vigilance and Trample. The question really becomes, are you willing to throw in? I mean, he can regenerate one of his creatures. He maybe has a Berserk to kind of... If he has the Berserk and he can regenerate, I could see attacking being a worthwhile risk. I mean, he will lose his creature, but because it'll get killed by... It'll get killed in combat, and then he'll regenerate it. Yeah, I guess there's no reason to regenerate it then. So you can't save it because it'll die twice. He's close to Threshold, though, which will make the Scout much more dangerous. And certainly a very threatening board presence next turn with the Mutavaults. More or less, Dan Mag just sort of has to hedge out this turn. That's an interesting choice. I mean, I guess it is useless once the maze untaps. Not a great card, but I can see what he's going for. A little bit mana intensive of a strategy. Alright, well, he's more or less broadcasting his trick. But I mean, I guess you have to double block the Boreal Centaur, trade one of your guys. It's a lot of trample damage. And he's going to Berserk, and it's going to be kind of over. But I guess if he has the Berserk, it's sort of game anyways. Have to play as though he doesn't have it. Oh, it's just a giant growth. Though... Not sure that's creature. I would have... Oh, yeah, never mind. It doesn't exactly 7. A bit rusty on my part, but well played game. Let's see. Let's go ahead and bounce over to ML Berlin and Zoltan. And looks like here we have a relatively classic match. Looks like Berserkers versus, I'm going to guess, Clerics. And we have Vicious Jund Hackblade coming out. So it looks like we're going red-green Berserkers, which gives you you're the greatest Berserker of them all, the Bloodbraid. Yeah, that does prevent Mother Runes from doing its magic. Oh, though one Spectral Procession does tend to push things back into a slightly different camp. That more or less enables him to kind of wipe the board should ML continue to apply pressure without any backup. Well, the Boar Leech does give a... Ooh, that's going to make that Jund Hackblade pretty dang impressive. Doesn't actually get past the real issue of Mom and the spirits, but certainly puts an impressive board presence together. It doesn't really do anything. So the real question is, does he want to trade 2 spirits for one of the 4... Well, I guess he would do it for the Jund Hackblade. I mean, he can take nothing here if he wants. He can double block one of the 5-4, kill it. Block the 2-2 with, why would you do that? He doesn't have any mana. I guess that means he's going to be using it with protection from red anyways. Changes around the options, though. I still think you need to kill the Frenzied Goblin. Yeah, I think you might... I don't think taking 9 is really the correct... Yeah, that's probably the best plan, as it enables Mom to keep at least one creature at bay. And it's still a 2-for-1. He's trading... It's not even terribly mana inefficient. He's trading his 3-drop for his opponent's 1 and 2-drop. His opponent just happened to have a pretty good 3 and 4-drop. Another Honor of the Pure is not terrible. Not quite good enough. Though there are many things you could have in hand that would alter that dynamic. And the Bloodbraid Elf comes down. That's going to be a huge game changer, potentially. Ooh, into another haste creature. That could very well be game. Sorry, another 5/5 haste creature. That is very representative of a potentially lethal attack. Let's see what Zoltan's got up his sleeve to try and deal with this. The Swords to Plowshares could be quite powerful at this point. Enable him to sweep up the board pretty nicely, actually. If he has the swords, he can... his spirit can eat the Jund... Or no, the Jund Hackblade will still be a 3/2. So instead he could trade for the Jund Hackblade. I think he traded for the Boggart at that point. And then Mom can eat the blood braid, leaving him with just the Juntak blade. If he has the swords for the boar tusk leech. But I think if he had a sword for the boar tusk leech, he would have already used it. Okay. Well, it didn't get bolted in response. Always the worry with Mom. Not a lethal attack, but certainly behind the 8-ball if he doesn't have anything else. So now he's at 5 with 4 cards in hand, facing a very dominating board presence. Though I suppose a Day of Judgment would be pretty nice here. Tap, concede? What do we got? It looks like possibly another Spectral Procession. Three mana, I'm trying to think of clerics. Possibly a Banisher Priest. Or tap, concede. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to our original game, which has apparently progressed quite quickly. Or wait, no, this is in fact... they are still sideboarding, which... or just kind of weird. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at AJ and Mavis. AJ, last year's champion, looked like he's on Naga? Maybe Shamans. No, Shamans are major tribes, so it has to be Naga. And his opponent is merely on Mirror. Tomb of the Dragon King is or Tomb of the Spirit Dragon is an interesting twist on the Mirror token deck. Gain a bunch of life. Though AJ's really burned through his library. Yep, clearly going for a Sultai control deck. Naga, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're looking at, he's on Naga. I think that's just going for the tap them all and kill you. Yep. Well, that was a relatively short game, from our perspective. Now let's go ahead and look at Arcbound Day Laborer versus Kumaguru. I wanted to close that, actually. Kuma, unsurprisingly, looks like he's on insects. And, looks like we have devils on the other side. Crop rotation, hornet's nest. Hornet's nest is, in fact, an insect, correct? Yes. Yes, it looks like we're on insects. Oh, the cradle. Sarkin Vol. Not entirely. I can see plans with Sarkin. Sarkin is a unique gent. Alright, so steal the Torch Fiend. Does that have anything to sacrifice it with, though, does he? It's a target, yeah. And that is the classic finisher for many a mono red deck in the last few years. Hellrider, you lose. Yeah. Let's go ahead and see how Berlin and Zoltan are doing. Alright, so we're in game 2, I would assume. Much less explosive start. Got the Rakdos Shred Freak. And the Lightning Bolt on Mom. And not much you can do about that. Yep, clearly Cleric, since we got the Core Sanctifier. Acting as a pretty impressive wall right now. Though... what turn does that... It is turn 5. Throwing away the Shred Freak. Must have a bolt. I think this is... you're hoping for Bloodbraid if you're... Yep. Biggest beating ever. Not fantastic thing to flip over, but still free. It wouldn't have been a fantastic thing to draw. Alright. I imagine finding another Savannah. Another Core Sanctifier. While not a fantastic advantage creature in this matchup, it is notably large enough to tangle with with almost all the Berserkers unless they get buffed up. Yeah, Maze of Ith. Not sure if attacking's going to get you much done here. I think at this point Zoltan needs a token generator. Take advantage of those honors. I imagine ML did not want to see another mountain. Alright, what do we got? Well, yeah. Yeah, I still imagine clerics. I'm pretty sure core are also not a minor tribe. Gentak Blade on its lonesome, not that impressive. I imagine at this point you really do have to start attacking with both and just forcing him to use the Maze of Ith on one and chipping away at the life total. I mean, you risk him trading the Hackblade and a Bolt for your Sanctifier, but it's not a bad trade. Oh, going for the dome. That's. I guess that's the hope that he'll draw 8 points of burn in the next. Before too much pressure's applied. In the form of, Mutavol. That'll jump, I would assume. Maybe not this turn, but probably next turn is when he's going to start needing to chump block. Since this is coming in for 9, even after the maze. Core Outfitter adds a little bit of board presence, but Perforos is, I think, a little bit too little too late. Fine creature, but I don't think it's going to make an impact on this board state. I could be wrong. He could have something that'll make 4 tokens. I can't think of what that could be. Alright, and AJ in Memphis. We can't get into that one for some reason. Alright. Let's see game 3 of ML and Zoltan then. So ML seems to have not liked his 7, keeping his 6. And I imagine that's kind of where he wants to be as far as openers go. I imagine that's where Zoltan wants to be as far as openers go. Skarg, the Ring... oh wait, the Rage Pits. Yeah. Not a terrible card. Cage of Edge's pretty bad on that. It's, if he wants to block, it's great. Oh, that's borderline game. That's just not fair. I mean, Dormy Rad's still actually not good enough. Like, he has to get a really dominating board presence really fast for that to have enough impact. Alright, so I guess look at the top card. And survey says, do we have a creature? Where's the chat for this? Huh. Okay, I didn't... There we go. So you pulled up a Jund Hackblade. About what you want, really. Bounce planes. Core Skyfisher, when you're a little bit mana stuck, feels like it only costs 1. Unless you're really mana stuck, then it feels like it costs 1,000,000. Not 100% sure I'd have been attacked. Yeah, well, I guess you need to start chipping away at Domri, I guess. Don't want him to become too much of a card advantage engine. Dust Bowl. Fine card. Not sure if it's going to have that big of an impact. Alright, and Scab Clan Mauler. That is the big one? Revealed cards. That is the... Oh no, that's the 1/1 Bloodthirst. That is the one you do not want in this situation, really. Xenagos, the Reveler. Well, I can protect Domri for a turn. Yeah, double Planeswalkers might be enough to beat the 2/2 protection from red. But I'm pretty sure you have to kill Xenagos here. No, I don't think you attack both. And I'm pretty sure you don't attack you don't attack Domri. Well, I guess you evaluate a random card in his hand versus a 2/2. There's also the potential for Xenagos to ramp him. I guess make a token with Xenagos and attack. Unless you can use the mana to play the Boartusk Legion. That could be backbreaking. Problem is the mana doesn't pull Xenagos out of range of the two evasive creatures. There's a lot of Planeswalker activations to maintain parity. Alright. I imagine Ruin is going over the do I attack or not? Mana from Zena goes into another Hackblade. That doesn't seem optimal. Seems like another 2/2 would probably been better. Keeping the Hackblade in hand, unless he can play something with 1 red. And I think Zoltan has to get Xenagos off the table this turn. I don't think he can win if he just lets him keep. Ooh, a Maze of Ith. Never mind. That alters the whole dynamic of that turn. I think Zoltan desperately needs a land here. Yep. Or another Firewalker. Another Firewalker probably will help. Does make any attacks pretty bad. And it forces him if he wants to save Xenagos. Well, he can't save him if Zoltan really wants him dead. But if he wants it to be more than just attack the 2 creatures, he needs to actually make mana with it, which doesn't look like he really needs, since we know he has a Scab Clan Ruinator in hand, which you don't want to cast before combat, so unless this is putting out a Bloodbraid Elf, Berlin could be in some trouble here. No, it looks like a Bloodbraid Elf to me, though. No, it's a Boggart Ram Gang. Well, I'm pretty sure the Wither doesn't help against the Pro-Red. And it's the attack into the Massacre now. I wouldn't. I mean, I think you lose too much if you attack. For very little gain. So considering whether anyone wants to play as Ruinator? Well, you have to attack. He has to attack with at least 3 creatures to have any chance of doing anything. Um, yeah, I don't like and I don't like his attacks at that point. The Ram Gang bounces off the Firewalker to no effect, or all in. I mean, I guess you can use Maze of Ith defensively to save one of your guys. In response, give it protection from red. I think you just eat the 2 Gen Blades. I mean, yeah, you take 6, but you force your opponent to use a Maze of Ith defensively. You're going to gain back 2 when he plays his creature out of his hand. Or he's going to do that to just... That's even worse. The Zoltan is running the clock a bit. Like, I'm not sure what he's thinking about right there. Oh, finally drew his 3rd land. I think this is pretty easy. You attack your 3... I mean, you can't let him build up an ultimate Xenagos. And racing Xenagos, if he's able to just start zeroing it, not great. So I think you need to get Xenagos off the board, or at least need to maintain some pressure on it. And you have to attack with all 3 creatures to the Xenagos. You don't get to do that. That does not work. Unless you just want to pressure it. Oh yeah, it does. The Maze of Ith already got used. Okay, so Maze of Ith is gone. So Xenagos is gone. He's got 3 mana. If he has a token generator, I think he's overcome the power of turn 3 Planeswalker, turn 4 Planeswalker. Alright, land was not what he wanted there. Frenzied Goblin targeting Mom. Probably correct. I mean, you still should use it on the Lone Missionary. It chose not to activate it. Okay. Oh, is he sacrificing the lone missionary? Yeah, so that doesn't seem great. I think you just take your 6. You still should. That was poorly done, in my opinion. And then again, I guess that's the blinking contest of is the lone missionary or the giant hack blade worth more to their controllers. Chiseling away. Three trampler. But now I think he just starts chipping away in the air. I don't know if he has time to play defensively. And he feels he does not, so just 6 to the chin. And they're an outfitter. Yeah, playing aggressively, I don't think Zoltan can win this, though. Unless he's got more removal in his hand. I do not think the offensive game favors the white weenie deck. No, they're trading 6 for 6. But this time around, he can use the Skag Rune Pits to save. That was a. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. He probably should have thrown the Lone Missionary in front of the Frenzied Berserker. He couldn't save it then. It means taking 8, but. No way to give that one trample? Okay, that's. I'd have done that the other way around. Swords to Plowshares. Take 3. 5. The Warren Instigators. Yeah, I think ultimately this game's going to come down to time. I think with enough time, Zoltan wins fairly easily from this position, but forced to actually close out the game, I don't think he has enough resources. Without an Honor of the Pure coming down, I don't think he can do it in a minute. Though, does he have no equipment? I haven't seen any equipment to go with this core outfit, which means the core outfit is just a 2-2. I guess he's got to be playing core, but I don't think core were an underdog. Hmm. It's a weird decision. So, ML has the luxury of having all the time in the world to think about things. That's the real reason why I wouldn't have done that. You're throwing mom away. If anything you wanted to get pro red, you wanted it to be the double striker. Well, he didn't have a... and having thrown mom away... If he hadn't thrown mom away here, I think he might have won. But all it takes is a bolt here, and... No, he wins it with 16 seconds left on the clock. I guess Berlin just pulled up a blank that last turn. That'll do it for round one.